Join me as I dive deep into the challenge of understanding if God is trying to send us a message through silence. When we think about our spiritual journeys, we often focus on the times when we experience a strong sense of God's presence, when we feel His guidance, comfort, or wisdom. But what about the times when we feel nothing? When it seems like God is silent, and we're left wondering if He's even listening. This phenomenon is often referred to as divine silence, and it's a crucial aspect of our spiritual growth that we can't afford to ignore. Have you ever prayed for guidance, only to be met with an uncomfortable silence? Have you felt like you're talking to a brick wall, with no response, no direction, and no reassurance? You're not alone. Many of us have experienced this feeling of abandonment, this sense of confusion, and it can be really challenging to navigate. When we're used to feeling God's presence in our lives, it can be disconcerting to suddenly feel like He's absent. We might start to wonder if we've done something wrong, if we're not good enough, or if God has simply turned His back on us. We might even feel like we're stuck in some kind of spiritual limbo, unsure of what to do or where to turn. When God is silent, it can be a powerful message rather than an absence. Here are 4 signs that God may be trying to tell you something through His silence. 1. He wants you to trust Him more. Sometimes, God's silence is an opportunity for faith to grow. Just like in a test, the teacher remains silent while the student applies what they've learned. Example, Job experienced God's silence during his suffering, but in the end, he saw God's greater purpose. 2. He is working behind the scenes. God's silence doesn't mean He is absent, He may be orchestrating things for your good. While you may not see immediate results, God's timing is perfect. Example, in John 11, Jesus delayed coming to Lazarus, but it was to display God's glory through resurrection. 3. He wants you to reflect and seek Him deeper. Silence can be an invitation to evaluate your heart, motives, and relationship with God. God may be calling you to deeper intimacy and reliance on Him. Example, David often cried out in the Psalms when he felt God was silent, but it led him to a stronger connection with God. 4. He may be testing or redirecting you. Sometimes, silence is a way of guiding you toward His perfect will. If God is not answering, He might be steering you in a different direction or testing your patience. Example, Paul wanted to preach in Asia, but God redirected him to Macedonia. Acts 16:6-10. In those silent seasons, don't lose heart, keep praying, trusting, and seeking Him. His silence is not rejection, it's often preparation for something greater. Folded hands, sparkles. If this blessed you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more biblical insights.